So we've set up a nice chain that's a really great starting point for what we want to do here. However, as you go through different pieces of audio or different sections or whatever, you may find that you want to get in and fine tune a little bit more. Now, we're going to go into more detail about these modules later on, but I just wanted to show you the back end of the modules that we're looking at, because what we've got here are just very simple sort of like how much controls for each of these, that is with the exception of the ear, of course. So if I go down here and I say open module chain, I can actually see each individual module that we are using within Repair Assistant. So we've got declip in there, but it's not activated. And see, I told you, dehum is in the background. That's our friend. That's one of those things that iZotope has gotten down to a science to such a great extent that it's not even above the hood. It's just there. Like I said, it comes with the furniture. So all of these modules have more advanced controls. And so what we can do if we want is we can go into them more specifically, like say, for example, with the DS. Let's say it wasn't nailing the frequency. It usually does, but maybe I want to change the frequency. I can just hit this View and Adjust Module Settings button, and we're over here looking at our de-esser functions. Okay, you can see it's set the threshold, it's set the cutoff frequency, it's got speed, it's chosen the algorithm and things like that. But if you wanted to move things around, you could. So there's that. Also voice denoise. Like I said, voice denoise has really been sort of stripped down but built up under the hood with the algorithm. It listens very well, so we don't have to worry so much about using this learn function. We've got a threshold and a reduction amount, and it's made a suggestion there. If I go ahead and look at de-reverb, for example, that's one that can get tricky. So maybe you want to listen to where the reverb tail is coming through. You want to tell it how long the tail length is if it didn't quite nail it. Maybe you're working with a vocal stem where there's more than one reverb and it's getting confused. Like I said, this one doesn't always do the trick. This one isn't pure magic just yet, but it can really get you out of a spot and make things usable, I've found. So we have this module chain view here, and being able to tweak further with all of these different modules is not the only reason to look here. We can also go here and we can add a preset if we want. Now, there are presets that they've already laid out that are there that are very, very handy. And some of them are really good starting points. Like, let's say you're doing a podcast and you're just trying to push it together or listen to what might be a good starting point. These are cool things to look at. However, if we go here and we say add preset, I can say Kate fix room. So once I've named that there, I just hit enter. And now I have that as a preset in my module chain, and I can find it right at the top there. And what I can do is I can call that up anytime, and I don't have to go through the Repair Assistant if I don't want to. Now, this is not something that I would recommend doing for recordings that are quote unquote similar unless you want them as a starting point. I still think that this learn function does trump that functionality. However, perhaps you have a bunch of different vocal stems from the same performance, same recording session, same equipment, same room, and you want to go ahead and use this as a starting point for each of them and just make simple tweaks here and there. Well, you can open up all of those different audio files and then call up in your module chain the preset that you created after using the Repair Assistant once, and that is a real streamliner on your workflow. The other thing is, if you go to the module chain button up here, then you can call those up at any time. You don't even have to open the Repair Assistant. So that is super handy.